Shalom. This evening we are celebrating Hag Sukkot. And the next week we are celebrating Semchat Torah. The last day of Semchat Torah we read Perashat Vezot HaBeracha, and these are the blessing, and that's how we end this cycle of reading Sefer Torah. And it starts at the beginning that Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Hashem how the Jews love him and they accepted his Torah. So he was telling them that he went to other Vezam Sa'ilamo Hopia Mar Param Be'atam Meribot Kodesh Miminno Eshdat Lamo, from with his right hand he has Eshdat, the Torah, fiery Torah. What is interesting is that what is interesting is that Eshdat is written together, one word, but however it is Kareh Uchtib, meaning that it is written as one word, but it is read as two separate words. However, we have to bear in mind that this is not coincidence. More than likely, the Torah is wanting to teach us something. That Esh, the fire, and the Torah, the Dat, are together. And Esh doesn't mean really the physical fire that we see. It does mean a few things. It does mean enthusiasm, it does mean passion, it does mean excitement, it does mean zest, it does mean electricity. All these are together. That if we are going to acquire the Torah, it has to be, that acquisition has to be done with all these elements together. In fact, there is nothing in life that is worthwhile that was accomplished without these elements. Any major organization, any major spiritual accomplishment, you see the great rabbi, they do everything with excitement. They say about Alav Shem Chacham Obadiah Yosef that he never wasted a second. And one of his sons mentioned that there was question about if Nashim, if a woman did forget if she did Birkat Hamazon or no, that if she should do it anyway. He said that between him and his son, he happened to be Hakam David Yosef, that they spent almost all night of Shabbat looking at it, and then the next day they counted the books that they looked at, and there were 100 books. So there is excitement, there is enthusiasm about what they are doing. In the secular world, we see the same thing. There is no any organization that became prominent and successful without the excitement. So now, because why does it important? It is important because if it trickled from the boss, from the head of organization, that if there is excitement, there is positive energy. Everyone can produce more. Everyone pays attention to the details, and that's how to the details. Also, it does. It is contagious. That enthusiasm and the excitement, everyone will be excited, and this is how to accomplish a lot. So now, the question is that if somebody, why would anyone will lose interest, and how why people become excited about something. The first one, to be excited, we must be we must like what we are doing. Like, for example, a doctor, he must love his profession that he is practicing. That's why he can accomplish so much work, long hours, and not minding it. We also, just like rabbis, sometimes we look at simple question for hours, checking the literature, what are the facts, what the data say about a particular thing, and that is driven by enthusiasm about what we do. So this is a must. The other thing is we have the people who do have high stake in what they are doing usually are enthusiastic about that more than others. There is a famous story that somebody had to take a heavy load up a mountain, and it was tiring, very heavy load. It was very hot. He was sweating. And then a friend of his saw him. He told him, "Can I give you a hand?" He told him, "Sure." So between both of them, they took the load up the mountain. The next day, that man was carrying heavy load and going up the mountain. Also the same type of weather. It really reminded me, incidentally, when I was last month in beginning of September, really, in Kurdistan. An hour west of Erbil, there is a town called Shaklawa. It has a mountain, and there is a place, a monastery that is that somebody has to do it at 1001 steps. And I decided to do it. By the time I got there to that area, it was noon, and the temperature was 113 degrees. And noon means I cannot use shade. The sun is coming down, and I had to climb this, and there are really the only probably 100 steps. The others is rock, and the small rocks you slide, and it was and the sun is beating on you. When it reminds me of that person who was carrying the load and going up the mountains. I can imagine how difficult it is. So the next day he did see his friend also saw him. He told him, "Can I give you a hand?" He told him, "No, thank you so much. I'm going to do it by myself." So he went and he did what he had to do. And then the next day, his friend asked him, he said, "What's the difference? I mean, why the first day you wanted me to help you, and the next day you refused?" He said that the first day, really, I was carrying rocks because I had to get them somewhere for some reason. The next day I was carrying a load of gold, and I was happy about it, and I said that I am going to do it by myself. So I really did not need your help. I was excited. I was that I'm doing something good for something that is beneficial to it. So here we can see that how excitement can carry you. In fact, I remember my father, Alam Shom, he used to tell me a story that somebody, a king, was in a boat and the boat drowned. And one peasant was passing by in the river. He saw the king drowning. He went and he carried him on his shoulders. And then in the middle of the river, the king told him, "Don't be afraid, that when I get back my kingdom, I'm going to compensate you and reward you a great deal." He told him, "I mean, why? You're not the king anymore?" He told him, "No, I was displaced. There was a revolution and displaced me." And then the peasant succumbed. He fell and he couldn't carry the king anymore. And the king, he was yelling for help. He told him, "You know what, your honor, when I heard that, I just could not carry you anymore." So here he had a lot of stake. He was thinking of big rewards. It helped him physically. So here, when we do any significant effort, if we have a lot high stake, we do our best. In fact, like in my organization, I put a lot of hours. We produce a lot, but like for example, Julie or Christine. I mean, she makes meager salary. We pay them above market value. But if she doesn't work for me, she works for somebody else. There is no enthusiasm about what she do, and that perpetuates itself, unfortunately. That's why we do our best to give them meaning of what they are doing. That they are not doing only pushing papers. They are doing much more than that, and this is how this is how they progress and keep them engaged, like they say. And the third element of excitement is to know why we are doing that. That is very, very important. Like the one who was going up the mountain carrying gold, he knows that there is something really important from that. And we have to look at every mother when she takes care of her baby, day and night, 24/7. There is no respite. And she does it pleasantly with, he cries, he stinks, he breaks stuff, and everything else, but she takes it very, very well. Why? Because she knows that this is her child. He's gonna grow up, he's gonna go to school, he's gonna get married, he's gonna bring it's beautiful, beautiful feeling, and that's why she does it. So when we have these elements in spirituality as well, we have the same rewards. If we know that Hashem put us on this earth with a mission, and we want to fulfill that mission, we realize that Hashem, that we will get siyata dishma, because if there is something that is missing, that is needed, and we volunteer doing it, that means that everything in this world is mission of God. It has godly mission, and if we were excited enough to take it upon ourselves to do it, that means that we are part of Hashem's scheme, and that's how we get siyata dishma. And it is for no reason that the Shulchan Aruch, the most important halachic reference in the Jewish world today, it's that the 4-volume and many thousands of commentary on that. It started that we should start every morning Gaber Ka'ari, that we have to be like lions with excitement, with alacrity from the morning to be that. We read in Rosh Hashanah, Veshkem Abraham Baboker, when he had to do his even to the worst mission, that he had to sacrifice Isaac. Veshkem Abraham Baboker, he did it with alacrity. And even the Reshaim, Balaam, Vayahabosh et Hamro, he did it. He had excitement, and we can learn to worship God from everybody. So that is a lesson that we can learn from Ejdat Lamo. Excitement, it will create accomplishment, and if somebody is not excited, then he will have Yetzirah will give him depression. He will have aslut and asbut, and nothing good come out with it. So we hope that we are here on this earth. We have mission. We need to understand this mission, and that we are part of the scheme of God in this universe, and not only related to us personally or to immediate family. It is the entire humanity, that we are part of that, part of God's scheme. If we understand that, then we can help others, we can help ourselves, we will be able to accomplish a lot, both spiritually and success in our business, in our life. So we hope that the Eshdat together, that they need to be together, and hopefully we will carry this spirit for the next cycle of reading the Torah. Tizku Lishanim Rabot, happy holidays, Shana Tova, and all goodness. Shalom.